and left all of the McLaury brothers dead. This is cool.
Marianne, I hereby deputize you Sheriff of Tombstone, Arizona.
That is obscene.
We're Marion and Chris. In 2018, we quit the 9-to-5 and bought Trudy, our camper van.
We are currently on an adventure to drive the circumference of the world.
Welcome to the town of Tombstone here in Arizona.
Yep, just 60 miles south of Tucson.
For all of those Wild Wild West fans out there, you will probably have already heard about this town. The lawless town, the town that never dies. Yes, that is Tombstone. And in today's video, we're gonna go and explore a little bit of America's Wild Wild West. It's a beautiful sunny morning here.
In Arizona.
It's hard to think we've made it all the way to Arizona. What a wonderful view to wake up to. We've been parked up in Tombstone here in this RV park. $10 a night. It's pretty quiet this time of year. There's not many other vans here, as you can see. I'm sure in the summer this place is absolutely packed. Got to show you this. That's the first proper cactus we've seen here in the States. So the town of Tombstone was founded by a guy called Ed Schieffelin. He was actually a scout for the US Army, and he came here in 1870 with the vision of finding silver and making his millions. His fellow soldiers told him that he was completely crazy because this area was controlled by the Apaches. They said, the only thing you're gonna find here is your own tombstone. In 1877, he found silver and opened the first mine, and he called the mine Tombstone. What a sense of humor. After that, people flocked here, hoping to make their fortune and find silver, and the town of Tombstone was born. So over the years, the town continued to grow, and it peaks at around 20,000 people living here.
We've arrived at the Sweet Sim Parlor.
Yes, back in the day, this place would have been full of brothels, guys downing shots at the local saloon, and daily shootouts right here on this street.
But this is actually now a sweet shop. 50 varieties of fudge.
All those Western movies, those jewels, right here. Which leads us to the first place that we're gonna go today, the OK Corral. So back in 1879, former lawman Wyatt Earp moved to Tombstone with his brothers, looking for that peaceful life. When they arrived here, they found that the town was very lawless. Wyatt's brother Virgil became the town's marshal back in 1880. The McLaury brothers came to town. They were outlaws known as the Cowboys. And the Earl brothers, together with Doc Holliday on one famous day, had a shootout with them.
Most famous gunfight in history.
It lasted just 20 seconds and left all of the McLaury brothers dead. And that is the famous battle of the OK Corral that you would have heard so much about. So that's our starting point. We're gonna go and check it out. There you go, the OK Corral. Let's go in.
The town too tough to die.
There you go. Hello. Okay, so for $10 each, we have tickets to the reenactment of the shooting.
I think that's the holiday.
I think that's one of them. We also get tickets to the Historama, which is next door, which is where they show a movie about the history here in Tombstone. Is it starting now? Okay, let's go. It's starting now.
Where are we going?
Out and then turn left. So we've come into the Historama just in time.
Bravery certainly was part of the makeup of full-bearded Ed Sheffield. He probably was a mite foolhardy too.
So the movie that they show at the Historama was absolutely fantastic. They've got this model that comes to life with a movie going on, telling it all about the history of the town.
It was brilliant.
The town that never dies.
Too tough to die.
It gets its name actually, Too Tough to Die, because parts of the town were destroyed by fire twice and were rebuilt. And then later the mining community came to an end after the mine flooded. But even today, Tombstone lives on because it's now a massive tourist attraction and the place to see the Wild Wild West.
And you should come because it's brilliant.
And there's people dressed up everywhere. Wow, look at this old carriage here. 1879. The Undertaker's carriage.
Oh yeah, it's a hearse. It's an old hearse.
Oh, there's that is the picture of the 3 guys killed in a gunfight from the OK Corral.
Oh, and here is the equipment they would have used to embalm the bodies.
Ooh, freaky. And here they've actually got Wyatt Earp's saddle from the movie Tombstone, ridden by Kurt Russell. How cool is that? And along here they got the old stables and a blacksmith shop there. That's what one of the old blacksmith shops would have looked like.
Spotted all these markings on the wood. These must have been the brands that they would have branded the cattle with to identify the different herds and who they belong to. And you can see all the branding irons up there.
That is the equivalent of the fire truck now. No wonder they had trouble putting the fires out. So that was fun. They got these models which do a bit of a reenactment, but now we're going into the proper reenactment. Thank you very much. We come in to watch the reenactment here in this little theatre. They got it all set out here. The actual shootout originally took place just out in the courtyard outside. This is cool.
Very cool.
First things first, please, at no point during or after the presentation, try to handle our weapons. They are real.
We shows them who's boss.
We ain't going back down to the Yellow Harbor, right? That's just trouble we don't need.
If this town's gonna make it, it's got to have some law and order. Oh, it's Ike Clinton. He's on the warpath again, and this time he's gunning for you.
Now you tell your pal Holiday I'll be waiting for him in the morning.
Don't want to see you boys here again today.
And leaves us alone.
All ends today, Wyatt. I am done talking.
You cowboys been looking for a fight? Now you've got one. Up your hands, boys. We're here for your guns. Hold on, what that?
No! Oh, wait! Don't shoot! I don't got a gun!
You're a daisy if you do.
If you do come to Tombstone, you have to come and see the reenactment at the OK Corral. Definitely, absolutely amazing.
10 out of 10.
And at the end, you get to take photos with the actors.
Brilliant bunch of guys. It was fantastic.
And the gunshots made us both go, ah!
I actually screamed.
Good morning, Chris and Marion. Wyatt Earp from the OK Corral. Thank you guys, Tread the Globe, on behalf of the entire OK Corral. It was a pleasure having you in our show. Wish you safe travels and take care.
There's an example of one of the cribs of Tombstones. Basically, these little sparsely furnished rooms were rented out by the landlords for about $20 a week to the working women of Tombstone. We're just looking at this and trying to work it out. My head's almost exploding because actually she would have only charged 25 cents to $1 per man, and she had to pay $20 a week for the rent on the room. That is obscene. Incredible. I just can't get my head around that.
It's so much fun walking around town, and it's so much quieter than it was when we arrived yesterday. Definitely a weekday, if they have the chance out of the holiday season, is a good plan.
Well, it's nice, I think, when it's quieter, because we've actually had a really good chance to talk to all the actors and meet all the people behind the scenes. I think on a really busy day, they'd be so overwhelmed with people asking them questions.
Absolutely.
But a fantastic place. I'm absolutely loving it.
Marianne's realised she's lost her glasses, not the sunglasses that are on her head, just the normal glasses. But it's all right. She's reported it to the sheriff.
I've reported it to the sheriff, and he's going to hand them into the visitor centre if they find them.
This shop looks very cool. Look at that, you got a lasso, stirrups, gun holsters, cowboy hats. Should we go and have a quick look?
Stirrups are £259.
Wowzers, let's go and have a quick look inside.
Squinting to see them.
Oh, smell the leather. If you want to release the Indiana Jones within, they've got these whips. They've got the belt so you can put your bullets in. How cool is that? So how randomly we were just walking past this store and we spotted Turkish lights in the window. So of course we had to come in and check out this very cool shop. These Turkish lights.
Turkey in Tombstone.
Turkey in Tombstone. And apparently these pipes are from Turkey as well. How cool is that? I'm loving this shop. All these badges here. Look at that, the revolvers in the counter. Some old ones there. Look at that, that's an old one.
Chris loves one.
Which
I
one
love
should
the
we
other.
have?
Which one should we have? You can be like the parent.
Which one's cooler?
Both.
Oh, wow.
Both.
Take them
Both.
both. But, let me see that again. You need that one because it's closer to your turtle. That one would be good on him.
You
Oh,
see,
should we take both? There you go.
so,
Turtle love is
Yeah.
Look,
turtle
he's got
love is all
where's your
about
turtle?
people.
There.
There you go.
We've been talking turtles because you all know the turtle story. Marianne's got her turtle, he's got his turtle.
turtle love.
Turtle love here in
Right.
Tombstone,
Sold.
turtle love.
Sold.
Marianne, I
Yes.
hereby deputize you, Sheriff of Tombstone, Arizona. The only thing I need to tell you is shoot first, then run.
Okay.
Okay?
I can do
I
that.
know you can do that. Hold on.
Oh, I'm loving that.
Oh, I love that.
Does that mean if the restaurant's full, we can just tell them we need a table because she's the sheriff?
Maybe. Thank you so
I
much.
love that. That's awesome. Okay, so this looks like a fun place to go and have lunch. Big Nose Kate's Saloon.
Dan here at the bar has actually lent me a pair of glasses that somebody's left here before to check out the menu, but we're at Big Nose Kate's, and the food here was recommended to us, so let's eat.
And what a cool bar. We've even got a juggling barman. That looks absolutely amazing. Steak sandwich, onion rings, coleslaw, fries.
Zucchini fritters.
There you go. Lunch is served. Just walking along, we've just seen this sign. Curly Bill Brocchius killed Marshal Fred White here on the October the 28th, 1880. And we're actually stood outside the bird cage theatre right there. It was open in 1881. It was open for 9 years. It never closed. It just kept going. And over the years, it was many a thing, including a theatre, a brothel. Let's go and have a look inside, my sweetness.
I think we should.
One house saloon and a house sale reviewed all rolled into one. We had our grand opening December the 26th, 1881. 16 gun and knife fights in the building resulted in 26 men, one woman losing their life. We've got over 140 bullet holes still in the building today. Now that staircase right there under the clock, that was the rowdiest staircase in all of Tombstone. I went upstairs to ladies at night. Cowboys, miners, gamblers had to ante up $25 to get up those stairs. In today's money, $650.
So there you go. He was once the Doctor of Tombstone. Although looking at that, that is a tooth extractor. I'm not sure that I would want to have my teeth done here. The older hangman's noose there. Some shackles.
Up on our stage, that's where we got the Birdcage's most prized antique, the Black Mariah. And the Black Mariah was a Tombstone hearse that took all the cowboys, miners, gamblers, and townsfolk to their final resting place in Boot Hill. There was only 8 of those models ever made out of rough shift for New York. Birdcage was the last one known in existence. That table at the bottom of the stairs was the site of the West's longest poker game. Went round the clock 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You had to have your name on a waiting list at the bar if you wanted into that game. And it is in the Guinness Book of World Records that poker game lasted 8 years, 5 months, and 3 days straight.
This apparently is a merman, and it says here that there was only one of the. This is only one of 2 in the US today, and used to be found centuries ago in the China Sea.
So once y'all walk through those doors, you are walking on the same floors as the Herbs, Clantons, McClowrys, Doc Holliday, Buckskin, Frank Leslie, every other Western legend that walked the dusty streets of Tombstone. The Birdcage Theater is the only original building left on Elm Street from 1881. All the rest of the buildings up and down the street were either destroyed or partially destroyed in the fires of 1881 and 1882.
So it costs $16 to get in, and it is absolutely fascinating. There's a whole range of different artifacts and stuff from Tombstone, and it's hard to imagine what life would have been like back then. Everybody with the theatre going on, there was a brothel upstairs, there's bullet holes in the ceiling. What a fantastic place. So another fun thing you can do in Tombstone is come and have your picture taken. There's lots of these shops going down the street. You can do the old wanted pictures or dress up in fancy gear. Marianne wants to go and do one, don't you?
I want to do it.
Let's do it then, love.
Okay, we did it. Can, old time photos with Heather, who was super helpful. We've had our photo. Comment below, what do you think?
Happy wife, happy life.
I love this photo. A massive thank you to Heather. She was so patient. She took a few photos and helped us choose, and it's just a wonderful.
Yeah, very, very cool.
I feel like I'm on holiday. Okay, the mystery of my glasses missing. The guys literally were like, are they the ones with like one arm missing? Yeah, we've got them in the car. We're going to bring them to you. We're going to make sure you get them back.
We might be messing the show up because we got half of the actors here.
Finding them. They have been so lovely.
Back. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are legends.
They are wonderful.
Not just legends for being legends, but legends for glasses being legends, if you know what I mean. So a trip to Tombstone would not be complete without coming to the graveyard here. Yes, the Boot Hill graveyard is where the people from the town were buried. As you come in, they actually give you a little brochure that tells you the history and story behind each grave. Frank here, he was on his horse, which became frightened, it threw him off and caused his rifle to discharge, and he shot himself. Poor Frank. Florentino here was murdered, found with bullet holes in him. Tom Waters was shot over the colour of his shirt.
Well, what happens when 2 women argue over a man in the 1800s? One, called Gold Dollar, stabs the other. Margarita, may she rest in peace.
Here lies George Johnson, hanged by mistake in 1882. He was right, we was wrong, but we strung him up and now he's gone.
There's a lovely little wording here that is beautiful. As you pass by, remember that as you are, so once was I. And as I am, you soon will be. Remember me.
Oh, that's nice. If you're wondering where the McLaury brothers and Billy Clanton's bodies lay, they're literally right here in this graveyard. Amazing history.
Okay, question. I think Chris should grow a big handlebar moustache like a cowboy style. What do you reckon?
I reckon I edit the videos and I'm cutting that bit out. They do also have, I can see it here, they do have an underground tour of one of the silver mines, the old silver mines. But unfortunately, we're not going to have time today because it's getting late and we've had so much fun.
I would definitely allow 2 or 3 days here.
Yeah,
to really get it. I don't know if we've said already, but we've actually done a 6-hour detour. Well, in return, so that's like a 12-hour detour to visit Tombstone because you told us how cool it would be. And
it's really good. I would definitely recommend coming here.
Awesome.
And we still have one more place to go. So we've come into the courthouse, and this is the most grand building made of brick here in Tombstone, and it was built just before the city, the town, officially closed and moved. So this is the founder of Tombstone, Ed Scheinfeld. There's a picture of him right there. Oh look, and that is actually his gun there, look. Wow. These are some of the rocks that they dug up. Look, silver ores, copper ores, an amazing stagecoach. But I know outside they have something a little bit spooky.
Do they?
Let's go and have a look outside. The gallows, an invitation to a hanging. On Friday the 10th in 1900 at 12 o'clock noon, William Haldeman and Thomas Haldeman will be executed in the jail yard in the city for the murder of Teddy Moore. You are respectfully invited to witness the execution. Signed, the sheriff. And the gallows are just out here. Isn't that freaky? It's amazing walking around Tombstone. The imagination, my imagination goes wild. Thinking of cowboys shooting each other, hangings. Can you imagine being a prisoner held in here with the public cheering here, hang him, hang him. And then up there are the gallows where you're gonna meet your fate. If that isn't motivation not to break the law, I don't know what is. What a crazy thing. It's hard to imagine, isn't it?
This whole place is just incredible.
And here's an exhibit from the stuff from the OK Corral. It's got all the pictures there of the Earp Brothers, Doc Holliday, the newspaper article, and then upstairs is the actual courtroom. This is hopefully the first and last American court that I come into. So you got the two tables here, defense and prosecutors. The judge would sit up there. Look, you can see his hammer that he hammers the order in the court. The jury would sit there. That's the door that goes back to his chambers. And then the court reporter there. And then all of the public would sit here. So that's it, we are leaving Tombstone. What a fantastic place. Put it on your bucket list.
Yes.
And we will see you on the next episode where we arrive in Albuquerque for the Gathering of the Nations event. You're not gonna wanna miss this one. See you next time.